Can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did she have to fight a dragon?
Nope, she bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.
All right, Mike Folta, he is the radio play-by-play voice for the Utah Mammoth. I'm sure you've been around a karaoke bar once or twice.
That's like you said, Scotty, for paying customers only. There's a steep cover when I start belting out Tennessee whiskey or country roads. That ain't for free. I'm not handing out those.
I love it.
Handing out those tones.
Good for you. Good for you. How much? Look, as a broadcaster, I was at the game just covering it as a radio schmuck. I can't imagine what it was like calling a game in that atmosphere. You got history twice. You got the first ever playoff victory, and now the first ever home playoff victory. Now you need to call the first ever playoff series victory.
Well, first of all, I just want to say, Tim, welcome to the show. You've been a great line mate for Scotty here to start, so excited to listen to more of you guys. But yeah, it was an incredible atmosphere the other night for game. Definitely a where were you type of night, and I was right at the top of the upper bowl, soaking it all in, and it was the type of sound that you could feel, right, more than you could hear it. And we have some cameras right next to us on Radio Row, and about halfway through the game, somebody from marketing came over and was trying to help out the cameras shoot the ice a little bit better, because when people would stand up and wave their rally towels, as they did oftentimes, the cameras had trouble shooting what was on the ice, because you have Rudy Gobert standing up in front of the camera, and it's blocking the view a little bit. So awesome work from Mammoth Nation to make things difficult from our TV crew, but make it so much fun inside the arena. And look, Utah just has to win 2 of the next 4 games to clinch their first ever Stanley Cup playoff series. Vegas has to win 3 of the next 4. So Mammoth have the upper hand, but I tell you what, it's not going to be easy against this Golden Knights group. Listening to head coach John Tortorella at their morning skate, they feel like they're ready to go.
Mike, this is a long way from the Rockford Ice Hogs, where you call games. But what is it that the Mammoth are doing that's making life so difficult for the Knights?
Well, I think they were very efficient in their scoring chances last game. I mean, all you have to do is look at poor Carter Hart's save percentage. I mean, he let in, 1 out of every 3 shots that he saw, even though I think he's been really good as Vegas' goalie in this series. So they were efficient in Game 3, but what we saw in Game 2 was what I hoped to see in Game 4, and that's the Mammoth employing their team speed to kind of skate around the Golden Knights. When the Mammoth are playing at the pace they want to play with, the Golden Knights just can't keep up with them. Utah is one of the fastest teams in the NHL, and in Games 1 and 3, we played at the Golden Knights pace. Now, luckily for Utah, they came away with a win in Game 3 and survived a lot of possession from the Golden Knights. But I'd like to see the Mammoth be a little bit quicker with their decision-making and a little bit quicker with the way they get through the middle of the ice, using some open space in the neutral zone to skate past the Vegas defenseman and maybe create some more off the rush.
So, first power play in Game 2, Vegas scores, and since then Utah has been very good in their penalty kill. Penalty kill 4 for 4 in Game 3. Has there been any adjustment? Just better execution? What do you attribute that to?
I think a little bit of both. John Madden, who coaches the penalty kill for Utah, he's a 3-time Stanley Cup winner himself. He won a couple with the New Jersey Devils and then the Chicago Blackhawks as well. So he runs the penalty kill, and it's a very simple power play that Vegas has, but they're very good at it. It's kind of like like Iowa football, right? Like, you know they're going to run it, but they just execute better than you can. They've got Jack Eichel on the wing. He kind of creates a lot of the magic. And you've got Mark Stone along the goal line, who's one of the best players in that spot in the entire NHL. But what I am, I think, most excited about from the penalty kill is that Utah has totally erased Pavel Dorofeev for Vegas. Pavel Dorofeev was second in the entire NHL in terms of power play goals during the regular season, and he hasn't even sniffed the puck on the power play in this series so far through 3 games. So the Mammoths they did give up a couple of power play goals early in the series, but they've taken away Vegas's top weapon on the power play, and now they've actually forced Vegas to make some changes because the reports coming out of Golden Knights practice was that they're changing some personnel on their power play. So that's a top 5 or top 10 power play in the National Hockey League, and Utah, after their performance in Game 3, forced them into making some personnel adjustments.
The play of, it takes a team, but there's certain guys, and Yamamoto is basically flying off the screen at me with the plays that he makes. Who are some of the, including him, who are some of the unsung heroes that are making this happen for the Mammoths thus far?
Yeah, I think Kyler Yamamoto is a great call out, Tim. I think he's been excellent on a line with Gunther and Cooley, and Yamamoto's a guy who is a former first-round draft pick. My radio partner Adrian Denny likes to call him a good roommate. He's the guy that you invited in because he needed to fill a spot in the apartment, but then all of a sudden you're hanging out with him, and you're like, this guy's pretty good. I like this guy. I want to hang out with Kyler some more. And he's been a perfect fit with Utah's 2 young superstars, Cooley and Gunther. So Yamamoto's a great call-out. I think Sean Durzi, number 50, has been really good in this series so far. Durzi had been on Utah's top defense pair with Mikhail Sergachev for a lot of the season. But when Utah traded for Mackenzie Weegar got put into that spot with Sergachev, and Durzi got basically demoted down the lineup. And he's taken this new role on a third pair and run with it in the playoffs. And he's been excellent. I was talking with Bear about him earlier this morning, and head coach Andre Cherney was singing his praises. And he does a lot of the escape work for the Mammoth. You'll see him use his skating ability to evade the Vegas pressure and help get the puck up ice. So doesn't have a lot of points in this series, Sean Durzi, but he's been helping Utah get out of jams.
Mike Folta, he's the play-by-play voice of the Utah Mammoth, kind enough to join us as he has a bunch. And we'd like to think, since you've made regular appearances on this show, Utah has gone on a bit of a run. So I think you deserve a lot of the credit for this, as well as Tim Lacombe. So there is a Barrett Hayton looks like he's super close. Jack McBain, maybe not so much. If Hayton gets back in the lineup, what can he bring?
He's versatile, and one of the most important positions in hockey is the center ice position. It's kind of like the middle linebacker position, right? It's the heart of the defense, but there's a lot of responsibility there, and that's what I equate to the center position. That's what Barrett Hayton is. Right now, Utah has 4 centers in their lineup, which that sounds like, okay, 4 centers, 1 for each line. That's what you need. But really, it helps to have more than that because you've got centers who are killing penalties. You've got centers who are double shifting to help take faceoffs. Heaven forbid one of them takes a penalty, is sitting in the box, and then you've got, your lines get shuffled around a little bit on the PK. So it helps to have a full complement of more than 4 centers in your lineup. And we can go through the X's and O's with that, maybe a different segment. But having Barrett Hayton in the lineup would allow the Mammoth to be better at faceoffs, and it would also help Utah line match a little bit more because Barrett Hayton's a very defensively responsible forward. He wins a lot of puck battles. He's really good in front of his own net and in front of the opponent's net as well. And so he helps you maybe match up some of those bottom 6 lines with Vegas's lines. So he's a versatile guy. I would kind of compare him to an Alexander Kerfoot, who we call a Swiss Army knife. But both in that vein where they're not the biggest guys, but they do a lot of the little things right, and they make life on a coach a lot easier trying to handle matchups. You
had mentioned visiting with the Knights and Coach Tortorella. What do you expect the response to be from them tonight?
I think they're going to try and impose their will again. And it was interesting because after the game, we heard from the Golden Knights that they were really pleased with the way they played in Game 3. They drastically outshot Utah. Shots were 32-12. 12 shots for the Mammoth. That was the fewest. That's the fewest goals the Vegas Golden Knights have ever allowed in a game in their 9-year NHL history, and they lost. And they lost 4-2. So they were really pleased with their game. That being said, they're making changes at practice. They're throwing their lines in a blender, or they're changing their power play. So it's almost a little bit of mixed messaging from the Golden Knights where after the game they're saying, yeah, everything's good. We just got to keep doing that. We played really well. But now they're making adjustments and they're changing their lineup. So I think they're going to try and set the tone physically like they did in Game 1. They weren't as physical in Games 2 and 3. And that's been one of the storylines is can the Golden Knights maintain this barrage of brutality? Can they enforce their physical will on the Mammoth, or can the Mammoth outskate them? We saw Utah outskate Vegas in Game 2. The Golden Knights controlled the pace in Game 3. But in a road building, how will the Golden Knights respond? I think they're going to be really physical. I think they're going to come out hot early in periods like they have all series. And it's up to the Mammoth to use Vegas's aggressiveness against them as they did in Game 2.
So we're going to run a contest at the start of football season where the winner will get Mike Folta, and he gets to name your fantasy football team, because a campaign of brutality might be my new favorite phrase. That was awesome.
When I lost my sight, I found a way to win.
Bank of America champions blind soccer player and coach Antoine Craig, and everyone who dares to ask, what would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America N.A., member FDIC.
I sold my car in Carvana last night.
Well, that's cool.
No, you don't understand. It went perfectly. Real offer, down to the penny. They're picking it up tomorrow. Nothing went wrong.
So, what's the problem?
That is the problem. Nothing in my life goes as smoothly. I'm waiting for the catch.
Maybe there's no catch.
That's exactly what a catch would want me to think.
Wow, you need to relax.
I need to knock on wood. Do we have wood? Is this table wood?
I think it's laminate.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's close enough.
Car selling without a catch. Sell your car today on
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
As a small business owner, sometimes it feels like no matter how much planning you do, there's always surprises, like an urgent, expensive repair. But here's the surprise you will like. With Progressive, small business owners save 13% on their commercial auto insurance when they pay in full. So enjoy a surprise for once. Get a quote in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
My best fantasy football name this was a long time ago. Dwayne Bowe was on the Kansas City Chiefs, and I intentionally reached for him in the draft, and my team name was Skittles Taste Dwayne Bowe. I felt really good about that fantasy football name.
Yeah, that's solid.
I just went with Provo Renegades. You know?
Yeah, I like that, man. That's solid work right there. Hey, so when you, look, the shot discrepancy was huge. So that goes without saying that Veggie, was Game 3 his best game of the series?
I think so. I think that's fair to say. I think the team in front of him did well to allow him to see that first shot and get to rebounds as well and get pucks out of those dangerous areas. But Veggie has been excellent, and if he's seeing it, he's stopping it right now. I think you look back over the first 3 games of the series, and I don't think there's one goal so far where you look at it and say, well, he should have had that one. The goals that have been scored by Vegas have all been either off rebounds or deflections. So I think winning the battle in front of the net is important again for Utah. The Golden Knights, well, I should say Utah is one of the best teams in the NHL at keeping teams out of that slot area, which is right in between the circles, right in front of the net. the Mammoth and the Golden Knights, for that matter, are both very good at keeping pucks out of that area. I'd like to see Utah do that again here tonight in Game 4. But Karel Vejmelka, yeah, I think he borderline stole that game. Now the Mammoth scored 4 goals, so it's hard to have your goalie be the number one story when you score 4 times. But based on the analytics, the analytics folks thought that Vegas should have scored 4 goals themselves. So Veggie was great. He's been really good all series, and he can be a difference maker for this team.
You always hear the old adage that everybody kicks it up a notch for the playoffs. And I'm just curious, you've been in the Delta Center now for a couple of years in regular season hockey, and you got your first playoff. You mentioned the towels were definitely seen and felt. But what was your reaction to how that place felt on Friday night?
It was incredible, and there's a couple things that stood out to me more than just like the raw power of the atmosphere. One, I could count on one hand the number of golden jerseys I saw. Like, I'm guessing everybody just turned them in at the jersey exchange earlier that
brilliant,
day.
Wasn't it?
Unbelievable. But I know the Golden Knights are a newer franchise, so their fan base is still growing like ours is. But I didn't see any gold in the crowd, which for a playoff game, you'll at least see a little smattering, right? And there was hardly any. Another thing that sticks out about our fan base is, even though it is fledgling compared to the rest of the National Hockey League, the creativity with which people show up to the game is off the charts for our games compared to other games. Like, you look at the Bell Center in Montreal, which may be the best home environment in the National Hockey League. Everybody's showing up in jerseys and sweatshirts. Like, everybody looks the same. At our building, that's not the case. You have people wearing like sequence jackets. I met a couple fans who had like found this goalie mask maker he makes goalie masks for NHL goalies, and these fans had ordered a couple for themselves and wore them to the game. You have people in like full body Mammoth onesies. So there's all these different like outfits and headgear, and there's so much character in the crowd that you just don't see at these other buildings. Nothing against these other buildings, but there's a specific creativity and uniqueness to our fans that I think is incredible. And it was fun getting to see all the different ways that fans were expressing themselves on the plaza, the SeatGeek Plaza before the game. And then in the building, like, if you're watching the video board, you're seeing like a different character on screen basically every time they cut around the building. So that's one of the things I love too about our fan base.
You know, if you've got a big old bottle of water, I want to see you on a celly cam during a timeout.
Yeah, maybe I'll get my tea. I've got my hot tea next to me, so you'll see some chamomile just getting thrown back because we've got some great beer chuggers, water, whatever your drink of choice is. We've had some great moments on the Bud Light celly cam.
I mean, I would love to see a broadcast after, you knock back a drink, a beer, but I probably that's not for the best when it comes to the FCC, so I would probably avoid that, but it could make for a fun alt-cast. Maybe that's a new SEG Plus opportunity there.
Smashcast.
There you go. I like it.
The Nashcast, they're popping beers in the studio 100%.
Okay, there we go.
Are you kidding me?
Nash has got it covered.
Yeah, he's got that going on SEG Plus. So that's our on-camera drinking. I don't even know if they're allowed. Oh, they are allowed because it's a stream.
Yeah.
It's not TV. So the rules are a little different. But yeah, probably just water and tea for me. I'll have a couple Molson Canadians after the game.
All right. So when you're looking at the stat sheet after the game tonight, what do you want to see that would represent a win for the Mammoth?
Yeah, that's a great question because I'm stalling a little bit here for myself because the Mammoths were statistically dominated.
Yeah.
In Game 3, right? So I think Vegas is a team that is going to outshoot Utah more often than not. How about this one? How about let's go under the hood a little bit here if we could, take her into the mechanic shop. Give me the speed burst numbers You can go to NHL Edge and check out how fast players are skating. And I think when the Mammoth are able to turn up the dial on the speed, that's when they're going to win. We've talked about that as one of the big storylines. Utah's speed versus Vegas's physicality. If the Mammoth are flying around, I feel pretty good about their chance to win the game. If they're kind of slower through the neutral zone and not able to generate speed into the offensive end, that's when we're playing at Vegas's pace. So give me the speed burst numbers as an indicator.
I love it. See,
as an old coach, I have one for you guys. Just the final score will be fine. Just the final score will be fine.
Yeah, just score more than the other team.
If you have more points than them, like you said, Mike, you would have looked at the stats the other night and it's like, there's no way. So tonight, let's just go with that one because you know what happens when it goes 3-1 in hockey, right, Mike?
Well, you can't trust anything in the playoffs. You can't trust a series lead. You can't trust a 2-goal lead in a game. Like all you have to do is watch the games from last night. Anaheim erased a 2-goal lead against Edmonton, came back and won in overtime. So that's what makes this time of year great. And Tim, that's why you're the coach, my man.
Yeah.
Well, I should just sit back and let you two golden tones talk. Your voices are they're melodic.
Hey, let me ask you this as a hockey expert. Should that have been a Anaheim goal last night?
I think it was a goal. I don't love the process of how it went down. If you didn't see it, it looked like the puck had crossed the goal line, but the goaltender's skate was covering the evidence, and so you couldn't definitively tell from video that the puck had crossed the goal line, even though if you kind of do the geometry on it, you would be able to see, like, yeah, it crossed. My issue with that, Scotty, is that it was called a goal on the ice, but here's the thing. The referee behind the net, or he was supposed to be behind the net, he was a little out of position. He never pointed at the net, which is the signal for goal, and so he didn't make a call on it. And then he huddles up with the other officials who are behind the play, and somehow out of that conversation, they come away with the conclusion that there was a goal on the ice. So now, as we know, if you're going to overturn something, you need irrefutable evidence. Well, the goal on the ice the call on the ice is now a goal, and that makes it that is a huge advantage for Anaheim in this review situation. I don't think it should have ever been called a goal on the ice. I'm okay with it being an Anaheim win because I think the puck crossed, but it was a bit of a confusing process for me.
Well, we appreciate it. Hopefully you're calling a bunch of goals tonight for the Mammoth, and this team goes up 3-1.
Big game 4, 7:30 tonight at the Delta Center. Can't wait, guys. And Tim, great to talk with you. Scotty, as always, we'll talk soon again.
You got it. He's the best. Mike Folta right here on 97.5, the EKSL Sports Zone.
I sold my car in Carvana last night.
Well, that's cool.
No, you don't understand. It went perfectly. Real offer, down to the penny. They're picking it up tomorrow. Nothing went wrong.
So, what's the problem?
That is the problem. Nothing in my life goes as smoothly. I'm waiting for the catch.
Maybe there's no catch.
That's exactly what a catch would want me to think.
Wow, you need to relax.
I need to knock on wood. Do we have wood? Is this table wood?
I think it's laminate.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's close enough.
Car selling without a catch. Sell your car today on
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
Good news for your gas tank. Every day through May 17th, shop at BJ's Wholesale Club and get an extra 5 cents off a gallon on a same-day fill-up at BJ's Gas. Buy practically anything, any day, and save. That means on Monday, extra 5 cents off gas. Tuesday, extra 5 cents off gas. Wednesday, Thursday, yada yada right through Sunday, get 5 cents off a gallon of gas. Shop for what you want, when you want at BJ's to save on gas every day through May 17th. Visit bjs.com/gas promo for details.